Welcome to today's Culture Builders. Today's Culture Builders is an article you can also get at tocculture.com. Also, we have included with this article a downloadable PDF that's a TOC community resource. To get that PDF, that Performance and Recreational Pathways System PDF, you need to be a subscriber to the Team Culture Toolbox, which is the TOC weekly newsletter. So you could subscribe to that and with the details in this episode. There's a link there, or just by heading over to tocculture.com. And today's Culture Builders is called One Goal, Different Pathways. Even Brady and Gronk found a way. So this was a question that I got from a coach recently, and it said the following. The coach said the following: we've got a small group of really committed players who are growing frustrated by the lack of commitment from other players. I'm conflicted. Our sport is amateur, and I want people to have lives outside of their sport. But these less committed players also said they want to win a championship. How do I handle these various levels of commitment when everyone has the same goal? Now, this question from a coach, it's actually a great example of a challenge that every coach faces to some degree. That's whether they're Bill Belichick at the Patriots managing Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, or a high school coach managing the multi-sport athlete and single sport athletes, or a youth coach with athletes being forced to play a sport by their parents, and then ones who are already deeply in love with the sport. Now, in fact, Brady and Gronkowski, they are really textbook examples of how coaches and players of varying types of commitment are a healthy challenge for a team. So when Rob Gronkowski first arrived in New England, his playful and less regimented off-field approach, well, it's well documented. However, Brady, he's known for his almost monastic focus on diet, training, and recovery. Gronkowski enjoyed a more freewheeling lifestyle. Yet on the field, their connection was undeniable. Brady recognized Gronkowski's immense talent, and he didn't try to change his teammates' fundamental personality. Instead, he led by example with his own relentless dedication. Now, there are stories of Brady inviting this young Gronkowski to extra throwing sessions after practice, not with stern demands, but with this kind of quiet intensity that subtly raised Gronkowski's professional standards. Brady understood that while their off-the-field commitments differed, their on-the-field dedication to winning could coexist and even complement each other. So how do we as coaches help to manage these situations? Well, here are 3 ways that we as coaches, as leaders, can manage these varying levels of commitment. Number 1 is just to ask questions to foster awareness. A lot of coaches will ask their players what their goals are, and yet we feel like that's all the information we need to then design a path forward. Here's the thing. Every player wants to win. Every player wants to be successful. But how bad? When a player shares their goal, try asking these 2 questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this goal to you? And secondly, what are you willing to sacrifice in pursuit of this goal? These questions bring awareness to the athlete and the coach of the level of importance in the goal. And from a place of awareness, you can better support the athlete's goals. Number 2, establish support and enforce a minimum standard. Bill Belichick had a minimum standard within the Patriot way. It's why Randy Moss's career was rather short at the Patriots. Had Belichick not, a disciplined player like Tom Brady would quickly have grown frustrated and wouldn't have had the career. Except it wasn't just Belichick who supported the standard. Brady worked hard when Gronkowski was drafted in 2010 to support him in meeting the standard. In fact, Brady tailored his leadership to build a relationship. He used humor and play to often connect with Gronk. Meanwhile, he challenged him by inviting him to the extra workouts. And in these workouts, his own personal example helped to raise the level. The third thing you can do as a coach or leader is to appreciate the types of commitment. It's not always different levels of commitments. In many ways, it's just a different type of commitment. What might have Gronkowski lost if he operated with the seriousness and the intensity of Tom Brady? He might not have had a career as successful as the balance that he struck in his life worked for him because it kept it fun. Tom Brady's legendary discipline kept it fun for Brady. Brady's approach worked for Brady. Gronk's approach worked for Gronk. It's not just for the players, though. What might have the Patriots lost if they hadn't allowed Gronkowski to be the unique, energetic, funny, and playful athlete? It could be argued Gronkowski's playful antics were needed in the team just as much as Brady's extreme process driven mindset. It's important we appreciate the various levels and types of commitment within our team and see how they work for that individual and are good for the team. Now, the Performance and Recreational Pathway System is a system that I developed in 2017, and I've had coaches implement this system where they're able to manage the varying types of commitment with transparency, support, and accountability. Players are able to clearly communicate whether they are one of two types of athletes. If you want to learn more about this system, download the Performance and Recreational Pathways PDF by subscribing to the Team Culture Toolbox at tocculture.com. That's our weekly newsletter. Thanks for listening to today's Culture Builders. If you enjoyed it, please share it, as well as leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts.